So basically, ladies and gentlemen, let's just talk about tradition, a few others and few informations, and then which are actually bothering these countries where we are in as a migrant and we are in as a citizens of these countries, but how to facilitate them and how to, of course, make the use of it in our countries, whatever, how hard they were to be. So on the scenarios, of course, things that are basics related to all to this lockdown, because this is a lockdown and is a war in these countries, because the country was locked down as a war to these countries. Why? What are the heavy root cause of to these all associated areas? If it's outbreak disease, we talk of this one, a business. Putting a business like this, if you have a business is, I think, is this one is a one life ahead for this one, for business passion to succeed all the day, to deny even accident, to deny even arrest, even to deny anything. So they take a business as a priority for them at least to combat all the life of the future, the life of everything. That's why a business is an addition and a tool, and is a addition, a walking stick for an old person, which an old person is using to go. That is a business stick. That's why business never close their doors when it come to this and when it come to this and to the standard of using. So who are the one who develop the business? And then on the business, who are the obstacles? Of course, on the business, we have many obstacles. We have the employees could be the obstacles. That's the one which misconducted the developers different policy of advantages. Then they alter the advantage of the developers, and then that's why you may find the business is getting buried alongside with the sickness. That is the weakness of the employees. That's why the country is on war for the purposes. Otherwise, if it's outbreak disease, you electioned. If it come to election, you electioned. If it come to this one, your slavery on sexual cases become number one, the Canadian priorities, and then a way to isolate and also put a victim into assault, and then forcing also our Canadian fighting war abroad, because they are all related attacks assigned by addition majority losers with the sexual related assault. And then toward the most isolated minorities, normal put those into a non-right of use, but created ex-video stereotypes to many on living by isolations. And then sexual cause of course war, such as Iraq war, such as Palestinian war, such as Israel war, such as Gaza, etc. You name it, those are war, of course. A failure to give win me abroad war, and then Canada is a big location, of course. If we talk about that, Canada is very, very big, as we said. So if Canada is big, to listen the right foreign policies, and then on which we may found, of course, 75% of this one Canada mostly affected and misconduct or mislead by addition by those hooked by sexual assault against isolated party of Canada. So lack of vision, of course, lack of travels is one priority down there, and then lack of foreign education is one priority down there. And then how to travel, field addition, Canadians, of course, basic addition comparisons to his or her sexual content against force of his or her blacklisting to the National Copyright Act, of course. Why are those regarded, of course? Those are the root cause down there. If we talk of different domestic violence, and then of course sexual assault rate of different single moms, that is 67% Canadian, including how to travel. Then basic newcomers, and then immigrant migrant are most isolated, and then the so-called citizens are also the act after completed war on sexual act. That is basically foreign war, and then isolations war, and then world war, which are basic to rumors. This is a word to can tell a rumor to this one. Yeah, I'm there, this one, I'm there, this one, I'm there, this one is the one which contributed. And then election is also what? And then you want to defeat this one so that you become the priorities. But if you have the weaknesses, and then your weakness is the one which failed you, and then you cannot approve it, and then still you want this one, you want to extend that as a sexual assault, and then fought another countries over. So that big possibility, that's not the possibility. The possibility is this country, fix your country, use your money which they granted for you to buy with, and then you don't buy, you still go and steal from other people. Those are priorities, keeping the doors locked, and then keeping people not concentrating on their business. And then which other business do you want to create to other people? That's why we said your blacklisting is this country, your blacklisting is that country. If you come from another country, what kind of lack of vision skill do you have towards your blacklisters? The people that you claim these are my enemies, my best enemies, and then these are my obstacles, and then you observe them there as their advantages, and then they observe you as disadvantages as well. So on those areas, how to travel at risk, believe, of course, technology is essential to us all. Paving entire cities wherever today we live on, and they make a life on. When it comes to this one, city cleanness, of course, mandatorily, our city is very clean, but how they pace it, and then if it's due this one, the violent is this one, suicide mission. You want to suicide the individual is isolated down there. We talk of sexual assault, and then now you feel, let me reach up to that guy and then knock them away, even if they cannot do this one, because they cannot longer breach sexual assault. Yes, we are squeezed. Yes, we are this one tight. Yes, we are programmed. Yes, we are this one. We are on our own portional areas of our dues. And then if that is not enough, the best is this one, let me go by this one, by what rumors, and then assault the individual, or sell this much and then assault the individuals, provide them with a suicide. That is a wrong tactics, because why you do the suicide for individuals? If the individual is not on breach, the individual is not on this one, on your criteria. Your criteria is you, and then those orders you granted, let those orders we granted, and then we provide feedback. You provide feedbacks. That is all feedbacks fighting each other. And then if the feedbacks, that's your weakness. You run the campaign, you run the elections, but all failed. And then if all failed, and then all failed, and then all failed, and then what is down there, that is required toward the managements. So we talk of this one, we talk of course, Canada, people who live on social assistance, and then basically they are Canadian on social assistance. There is Service Canada, if it's granted from Ontario to, you name it, all the province of Canada wide. And then of course we have this one, we have single moms. These are father and sons. Sometimes even they're old, they become singles down there. Their wife, they are no longer with them, and then they yell, and then you may find, this one is already a used wife, and then is already a single mom. Leave the child even adapted to children aid. The situations, but they are hiding around your business because they come, and then they take a privilege. They have nowhere to sit. Lock every areas where these people we make, they isolated, because they isolated them. They make them already. They look they look weak, they look drunk, and then they look asleep, and then they look really disaster to themselves. They disaster themselves a lot. They call it the Canadian mental health standard of living. If it's Canadian mental health standard of living, and then of course this guy of course, sleeping at mission service, sleeping at Salvation Army, and then they were sleeping there. They open for them the door 4 p.m. and then to 6 a.m. They have to wake up, go away. We want to close the door. First knock, and then 7 a.m. they come, they knock the door. We want to close the door. Get up, go. And then 8 a.m. they come, we want to close the door, go. They kick you out. If on the other areas such as mission service they don't, then they leave you sleep all day, and then you stay on your room all day. But Salvation Army always different. Every this one 4 p.m. to this one, to these hours you go. And then if there's the situation, those guys they cannot sit. And then there you chase them away, here you chase them away. What situation you expect is contributing? So that's why they make them, they say their other name, they have their nickname called homeless. If they're homeless, and then what we expect that homeless will affect them is affecting you, your business. Not your business that much. That much of your business is sold because of this much. The order of your business has dropped down because why? You are doing the business to fix these countries. You are not doing the business to make these countries' children suffering. If I play a big role, I want 100,000 people come to Canada. I'm really fooling myself if I'm saying this, and then I've already observed this suffering here in this Canada. I cannot even involve bringing another foreigners to these countries to come and suffer, because you will be the one taking even the opportunities. You may arrest the guy, and then anyhow, even whatever they come there with their money of that countries, they bring a good number of money. Even that money they will lose it here, and then you will make them suffering to these countries. That's why it's not too good, too reasonable. So what about their business? Their business may even suffer. That's why it's not a good thing, it's not appropriate. Because why? We said lack of vision, lack of foreign educations, lack of vision travels, because you do not travel to the other countries. People down there do not know what you're doing, and they don't know exactly what is required and what is required over the other end. So this is the privilege. So you bring another guy from the other countries. So they come, they say they own the degree. Yeah, here they reach to this country, you say, yeah, let them go back to school. Yeah, they will agree, of course. They will go and do orientations, they will go and do job-oriented others. They get the skills so that they will adapt to these countries, what these countries do. That's when they realize, yeah, their degree is useless in these countries. That's when they will go to schools. If they found their degrees is working more than they are, that's when they will never go back to schools. So on situations, on circumstances, that is the circumstances which is vis-a-vis facing these countries, vis-a-vis, of course, this one putting this country at the dilemmas at all times. So that is why it's a contribution of war, other than the contribution of peace to the people in these countries, if at all. This is mandatory ideas. This is mandatory edition of observations. This is mandatory, of course, your judgmental others, and then you make them, and then another guy, went down there, sold it. Yes. And then the other one down there, do the same order which the other one was doing. So if that is the situations, and then what we expect is required, if it come to this one, this is the money, of course, the guy is earning per hour. If the per hour, this is customer service, they say it Canadian customer service, they are working per hours, $11 per hours, and then you pay the customer service, the people. You just answer the phone, someone just ring the phone. Yeah, I need this one. I need my phone bills lowers. I want to buy this food this much. I want to get this one this much. I want to get this one this much. And then you answer on the phone. You take the call because the guy is here. This is the guy giving the information of such kind of people, because of the rate of the single moms in our societies, the rate of the fathers and sons, their business. If that's the situations, because why? Who are the single moms? The single moms could be the fathers and son creations. which created all those single moms. They don't go for them, don't preach here, don't come here, is ordered for them. And then they are doing their business somewhere very far away from wherever the possibilities make them available for them. That's why it's a criteria. If that is the mandatory orders and then that is the mandatory things, what we expect those affecting and those are solutions down there, no solutions. Because this is here already they created the weaknesses. Don't breach is a weaknesses for them. The other one field want to get higher, and then getting higher means they want to earn this much profit, and then this is the other one, the obstacles, playing all the obstacles. If they are found to be the one playing the obstacles, they play these big roles down there with their groups, Of course, this is a group of different white collar jobs. This is a group of blue collar jobs. Then if they all match on the streets, and then this is the groups, that is the groups, and then they alter themselves. And then that's much they contributed around there, and then how those others for sure affecting and of course isolating the individuals in the societies. So those are of course if we tackle very much, we will see is the situations all related to tradition, to bookkeepers. That's the bookkeepers. You look at the computers. Sometimes I write a lot. I manage a lot. The guy is just a bookkeeper. Will say this. I work for this one for 16 years. Even I publish 0 books. If it comes to this one, this is a binder. My binder here, I will open like this. This binder here, they are no longer originals. I printed them. They are no longer originals. Who is original? Because I make my statement, my contents. Every content has been stolen away. If they're stolen, that is you somewhere there. Of course, if I face this one log out, that is you down there, which is because you say you're the only you're working there, you're my bookkeeper. If you're my bookkeeper, and then here whatever how hard I work, you want all the work here I do, all deny, not to be recognized, because what you are obstacles. The situations of this one of the court rule says don't breach here, this one breach. And then it doesn't breach because you do not breach, I do not come here, but every books here I write, I have here got stolen, either by backlogs, I have no idea, because this is the individuals, this the countries. If the countries, as we said, this is a sexual assault. What about the sexual assault? If the individuals agree, let me live in a societies of different women, of gender balance, and then of course it will create different sleeping around. If it creates sleeping around, of course that is the content. Those content is shared, and then those content is still down there will be posted as a domestic violence. They will say it will return heavy domestic violence among the areas of the departments. If 2 or 3 there sit of a table, or 41 sit down there, and then they become positioned. Eitherly, you have to be isolated. If your concentration become too good, you teach a lot, and then you say a lot. That is when they have to terminate you. Because what if they cannot do, and then the guy said they will not survive, they will not sleep, they will not eat, till they will be made to be deported even out of these countries. So what will I do? What will you do? What will the other one do? That's why you take them as a priorities. Of course, they will make this statement. Whatever I say now, this statement is not the one. They want another statement down there, and then they will make you with that statement. Still go for me to this guy, get this guy, take it to the other end, let them not know that I wanted this much from that client. This is not fixing yet. The fixing is there with them. They will send the guy. The guy will do their jobs. So that's why we live on isolation for that purposes, so that we won't even know what you are doing and how much they are doing for people around around Canadian land, and then what they are really doing to people. So we don't know, but we really know every individual things. If it comes to knowing, we know. If you want suggestion, we can suggest. If you don't have this suggestion, you really have it. Even in your home, even you really have it down there. If you don't have, that is when you don't have this one, what we call lack of foreign educations, lack of travel. You don't want to go to another countries, and then that's why you don't want to mix with the black guy. You don't want to mix with the Asian people. You don't want to mix with the Arab countries. That's when you cannot longer travel to another countries. What is the best for you here is this one, and knowing, yeah, if I mix with this one, that will be obstacle. My game is over. My slavery game is over. My work to this country is to monitor this one. Sexual assault. I put every individual as I observe every individual as a sexual assault. Okay, and then from there, this is already a constitutional things which has been granted as a permission for individuals and for every Canadians to follow. A failure to do so, a failure to result of another country war. That is a heavy participation, because individual post it somewhere, individual bring the idea somewhere, individual implement it somewhere, and then individual authorize it, and then they have to follow whatever there is no weaknesses, create till there is a weakness, get them arrested, every individuals. What about we who doesn't even have a wife here, who doesn't even have nothing, we are still single? How will we mention your order down there? How comes we went and bring your policy of this one of this one of the society of this one of the single mom, which where you guys you are laughing more because the guy got married to this woman, the woman make one child, the other one make 3 children, then the other one make 4 children. This country is clean, as we said. The country has been paved, very clean. The woman is signing somewhere there. You sit with the woman and you are giggling from this home. You go there, you sit with the other one. You have a weave and you are managing weave. That is husbands and the weaves societies. That's why is every individual thing is a sexual assault. And every individual thing is based on your capacities that you manage down there. You expect here, they raise you. You know, they hide that portional area of yours, doesn't paint. That is we who are isolated because of the knockout. We are easy to knock out things, and then we are easy to repair things, and then we are easy to isolate things, and then we are easy to abide by if it comes to abiding. You know, so that's why it's not easy to push us to your way. That's why it's not easy. Whatever you mix it, you cannot get it. That's why it's the situations of adults, and it's the situations of your own observation, your own criteria, your own lines, and your own force, and your own linears, which you are doing wherever you sit, wherever you are managing, whichever homes you stay, and whichever areas you drive, and whichever areas you manage, that's your own rules. Your mileage car is your own. If it comes to that, because if your case is addition fueling, that's your own. If your case is because, yeah, this is my wife there, that's my wife there, they don't know, we don't know, we know everything, but we cannot talk about it, we cannot say about it. But if it comes to this one, to the knockout, because this is you people who participated here. For me, yeah, this guy, I can hit them from here. Yeah, I'm a speaker. I can knock them the most, but that is a dilemma, you know, because we are under the roof of different advantages, and the advantages vis-a-vis that is whatever. This is not my house, or this is not the home I build. The home here is under the capacity of a landlord, and then still we know the landlord will use my advantages. The more they use, the more those advantages return back to me by another means of my family members, that they know, yeah, how are they surviving there? How do they get the home? Anyway, That's the questions, and that's the regards of the use of individuals, and then the use of whoever and whoever possibilities, because this is these countries, but how to travel, and then how to, of course, how to issue, and how to ensure if I traveled, and then if they don't travel, and then if I'm to bring people to these countries, if you are to bring people to these countries, what will be the best result and the good advantages for them to survive around. Otherwise, that's me, White Hassan, this is it on.